Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into What's Our Problem by Tim Urban, published in 2023. This engaging book draws from the corners of political theory, psychology, history, and the quirks of current events, all while showcasing the author's hallmark comedic touch. Urban takes us on a journey through the perplexing terrain of modern society, offering not only clarity about our collective issues, but also proposing ways we might address them. Tim Urban, the mastermind behind What's Our Problem, is renowned for his work as a writer and creator of the hit blog Wait But Why, where he employs his clever cartoons and sharp wit to dissect various facets of technology, life, and broader existential questions. A true internet phenomenon, Urban's work is celebrated for its ability to break down complex topics into digestible, humorous, and thought-provoking pieces. This book is a must-read for fans of Tim Urban and regular readers of Wait But Why, who appreciate his unique blend of humor and insight. It's also perfect for the socially conscious individuals seeking to understand and unpack the complexities of today's societal challenges. And if you're someone who feels daunted by the tumultuous world around us, What's Our Problem offers an accessible and entertaining path to grapple with the chaos. Join us as we explore Tim Urban's latest offering and gain a fresh perspective on what ails our world and how we might remedy it. What's Our Problem? A self-help book for societies. Introduction. Unraveling the tapestry of human history to shape a better tomorrow. Picture a monumental tapestry, stretching out with intricate patterns that weave together the entire saga of humanity's existence. Each stitch represents a pivotal moment, each thread a significant era, from the dawn of man to the bustling digital age. Nearly the entire masterpiece is dedicated to our time as foragers under starlit skies. As we approach the final inches of the tapestry, we see the agricultural revolution sparking a cascade of events that would define civilizations. Yet, as we draw our eyes toward the most recent additions, we can't help but notice how the patterns intensify, the colors swirl wildly. Our technological evolution isn't just linear, it's exploding at a rate that's hard to fathom, compressing centuries of innovation into mere decades. This acceleration isn't just fascinating, it comes with profound implications. Our next stitch could depict a world flourishing with unprecedented progress or unraveling under the weight of its own complexity. We're not mere spectators of this ever-growing tapestry, we're the artisans, holding the needle that will add the next pattern. But take a closer look at the hands weaving this future. They seem to belong to petulant children rather than wise stewards of humanity's legacy. Our societal fabric is showing signs of wear. Tribal allegiances, misinformation, failing institutions, and deep political divides are the fraying edges threatening our collective narrative. Within this narrative, you will uncover the intricate layers of society's current state, from our collective thought processes to the jagged lines of political schisms and the bold hues of social justice movements. By doing so, you may begin to reframe your perspective, envision a world that could be, and play your part in stitching together a meaningful and harmonious next chapter. So, we must pose the question, what seems to be the root of our troubles? Let's delve into this together and explore what can be done to ensure that our next contribution to history's tapestry is one that future generations will admire, not lament. Part 1. Ascending the Hierarchy of Human Cognition. Imagine observing a moth persistently dashing into a lamp on a porch. We might dismiss it as a foolish creature, but it's simply following its innate navigation system, one flawlessly designed for moonlit skies, not our modern artificial lights. This scene serves as a parallel to the human condition. Our primal brain, with its focus on survival and immediate gratification, hasn't fully caught up with our new reality of abundant stimuli and complex societal structures. Fortunately, we're equipped with a more sophisticated cognitive apparatus as well, our higher mind. This is the domain of rational thought, objectivity, and learning from past experiences. Picture within us a tug of war between the instinctive desire to devour an entire bag of candy and the rational conclusion that such indulgence may be unwise. This internal battle is akin to ascending a conceptual ladder with four distinct rungs of thought. Perched at the apex is the mindset of the scientist, where pure logic and dispassionate analysis reign. Here, you seek truth without personal bias, examining the evidence with the calm detachment of inquiry. Descend one rung, and the sports fan in you emerges. Although you still respect rational discourse, there's a clear favorite outcome, bending your analysis ever so slightly toward your team's victory. This is the realm of subtle biases. Slip further down, to the third rung, where the voice of the primitive mind grows louder. Now you're engaging the world like an attorney, fiercely advocating for a position with little regard for its validity. No proof is too compelling to sway your fortified opinions, often leading to the embrace of outlandish conspiracy theories. At the base of this ladder, you're guided purely by uncompromising belief, the zealot's domain. Here, convictions are unassailable, opposition is mistaken for hostility, and contrary evidence, no matter how concrete, is dismissed. This framework helps us peel back the layers of societal clashes, understanding not merely what people believe but the cognitive rung from which they're operating. Be it the climate crisis, healthcare, or the volatility of the political stage, many contentions become clearer when we assess not the arguments, but the cognitive rungs behind them. We're grappling with a societal shift, an unsettling trend expertly pinpointed by Tim Urban as the rise of the low-rung thinker. It's crucial to understand this ladder as we step forward into the nuanced examination of why our society teeters precariously on these lower rungs and what it entails for our collective future. Keep this in mind as we progress through the narrative, unraveling the layers that compose our shared predicament. Part 2. Tracing the roots of divisive thought. Throughout the tapestry of time, human nature has remained steadfast, with inherent traits and instinctual behaviors continuing in a predictable pattern. However, introduce a new environment into the mix, and suddenly the historical steady flow of conduct shifts. This begs the question, what changes in our modern habitat have precipitated the proliferation of low-rung thinking we've dissected earlier? In the American landscape, two significant transformations have surfaced over recent years. The first involves an intensification of tribalism. Reflect upon the history of internal strife and solidarity within the United States. Moments of unity against common external enemies have been punctuated by civil discord, symbolized by the Civil War and contrasted by national coherence during World War II. Today, with the absence of a unifying external adversary, Americans have turned their sights inward. This politicized tribalism has manifested in a sharpening of ideological divides within the nation, setting the stage for friction and the ideological purification of political parties, fostering an us versus them narrative. The second shift reshaping the environment is the transition from merely concentrated tribalism to hypercharged tribalism. Our society has evolved to become more transient, with individuals often moving to new locations after academic milestones. When deciding where to establish roots, there's a tendency to gravitate towards communities sharing similar political and social views. This self-selection leads to echo chambers, the ideal incubators for lower-rung thinking. Within these bubbles, views become more polarized, reinforcing the hypercharged tribalism indicative of contemporary American culture. Advancements in technology and media have further escalated this division. Tailored news and entertainment targeting specific groups, coupled with powerful algorithms, ensure personalized content streams, bolstering the echo chamber effect. The outcome is a society where competing factions virtually inhabit distinct realities, and partisan loyalty holds the sanctity of religious fervor. This alignment with one's ideological camp at the expense of open debate and dialogue heralds a perilous descent. Intellectual diversity and the willingness to engage with opposing viewpoints, hallmarks of upper-rung thinking, are increasingly rare. As we proceed, we'll delve into the tangible repercussions of this socio-political evolution and consider its profound impact on the fabric of today's societal landscape. Part 3. Dissecting Ideological Extremes Through Cognitive Rungs. To effectively dissect the landscape of political extremities, envision placing ideologies not upon a traditional left-right spectrum, but rather on the vertical plane of our cognitive ladder. This nuanced perspective shifts focus from the substance of beliefs to the quality of thought that underpins them. As we venture into the realm of current political extremities, let's approach the topic with judicious open-mindedness, a request from Tim Urban that we treat all perspectives equitably. Firstly, let us scrutinize the faction. Urban dubs Republican fundamentalists. Their hallmark is a rigid and binary approach to complex issues, a throwback to Cold War-era mindsets exacerbated by fear and simplistic narratives. This perspective crystallized with the ascendancy of Donald Trump, culminating in an insurrection that betrayed none of the measured, evidence-driven thinking of our metaphorical scientist. Pivoting to the political left, we find another form of lower-rung thought within certain fringes of the social justice movement. While the core intentions of advocating for equality and dismantling unjust systems are noble. Social justice. Fundamentalism presents its own challenges. Adherents of this mindset interpret societal dynamics through an inescapable force, be it patriarchy or other structural paradigms, leading to presumptive inquisitions of, how did racism manifest here? Rather than, did racism play a role here? Both Republican and social justice fundamentalism represent ideologically charged embodiments of lower-rung thinking. They share a common disregard for scientific scrutiny and a susceptibility to echo chambers, where dissent and deviation from the core tenets result in ostracism. Moreover, they demonstrate moral inconsistency by attributing varying degrees of significance to discrimination based on social or racial group membership. As we unravel these threads, we recognize that these are hefty subjects, each deserving a much deeper dive than we can muster here. Yet, Urban's critical point remains. Lower-rung thinking looms large in our societal discourse, and its effects are undeniable. In the concluding segment, we will embark on discovering actionable ways to elevate our collective cognition. We aim to foster a climate conducive to higher-rung thinking, and in doing so, take concerted steps toward nurturing a more enlightened and equitable society. Part 4. Charting a course towards collective wisdom. Consider the cyclical proverb that illustrates society's ebb and flow. Sagacious minds give rise to prosperity. Prosperity breeds complacency. Complacency forges a path to decline. And from that adversity, wisdom is once again born. What if we could break this cycle, bypassing the hardship and steering direct toward wisdom? Tim Urban harbors an optimistic vision. Despite the turbulent seas we've navigated thus far, he sees weariness with the status quo cutting across all societal divides, hinting at a universal yearning for change. The Internet, that catalyst of so much upheaval, still holds the promise of fostering open discourse. Democracies have weathered storms before, and this particular tempest may yet subside. So how can we harness this undercurrent of hope and steer toward calmer waters? It begins with self-awareness and humility. We must confront the uncomfortable truth that we all indulge in lower-rung thinking from time to time, letting biases and blind spots cloud our judgment. Start this introspective journey by challenging your own convictions. Play the why game. Question the bedrock of your beliefs and scrutinize the cognitive rung from which they emerge. Should they falter under close examination, muster the courage to shift your stance and ascend the ladder. Venturing beyond self-reflection, speaking up is the next step in fostering change. Promote truthfulness in dialogue by pledging to utter nothing that isn't aligned with your beliefs and resist the urge to conform for the sake of comfort. Begin these candid conversations within your inner circle. Nurture an environment that prizes confidence in one's ideas balanced with openness to different perspectives. But be wary of solidifying your own echo chamber. The goal is to invigorate debate, not stifle it. Then, take your voice to the larger stage. Embrace the power of disagreement in the public square, be it in your community, on a blog, or through publishing your thoughts. Voicing dissent can be daunting, but the fear is a phantom of the primal mind. Which aspect of your consciousness do you wish to lead? Even modest efforts are superior to inaction. With a blend of awareness and bravery, you can transpose the maladies we face into the building blocks for a better society. Take heart in the knowledge that every step, no matter the size, is a stride toward a more enlightened collective existence. Final summary. The essence of our challenge lies in adapting our thought processes to a world that our inherent nature was not designed to navigate. Our society is ensnared by an antiquated way of thinking that gives power to our primitive instincts, leading us to tribalism and polarization, particularly in the U.S. political arena. This regressive mindset hinders the kind of progress that can drive humanity forward. To rectify this, we must strive to emulate the intellectual rigor of scientists, scrutinizing our beliefs with clear-eyed objectivity and intellectual honesty. The road ahead demands heightened self-awareness and the bravery to voice our convictions even when they deviate from the prevailing narrative. Our collective predicament boils down to a simple yet profound query. What's our problem? The answer begins with individual introspection. Ensure that the change we seek in the world does not falter at the doorstep of your own mind. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.